Hello, beautiful people. My name is Davi. I'm joined by Abe and Charlie. Welcome back to another Tony Tuesday.
How you doing?
For our viewers and listeners, we hope you guys are doing well. Just a quick heads up, this episode is also available on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, specifically the discussion portion of the show.
And if you want it uncut, you can join us on Patreon or become a member here on YouTube. It's $5 a month, and you just need to have your own copy of the episode. Follow along. We'll give you a countdown and have fun with us.
And before we get into this reaction, y'all, please leave a like on this video. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing, hitting that notification bell so that you can be notified for when we have a new upload.
Catch. Damn.
That was a terrible throw.
Another one, bro.
So bad. Just make it good service. Oh, there you go. All right.
Okay.
Last one. There you go.
Abe, Charlie, how y'all doing?
We're good. We have popcorn.
Popcorn been here for 5 minutes and a half gone.
Yep.
So.
It'd be like that. And before we, let's just, pick it up. Before we get into this episode, Abe, can you read the comments from our previous Tony Tuesday?
I can indeed. The first comment comes from Plutonian Rabbit, and it says, Dominic Chianese has, sorry if I butchered that, has spoken about it wasn't scripted for Junior to cry. But in the moment, Gandolfini's line delivery of, "You don't love me," just hit him, and out came the tears. Such a pure and powerful moment.
Really is.
Love that. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you got to let the scene and the emotions take over, and it sounds like that's exactly what happened. This one comes from Joe Rogan.
The real?
The actual Joe. Get us on the podcast,
hey.
bro. OMFG, that picture behind you guys with the horse. People did notice the Pio Mai portrait in the background.
Surprise.
We tried to find the right placement for it. We wanted to put it back here, but didn't want to get rid of the posters, so we're still looking for the right placement, but we thought it's fitting for the rest of our...
Sorry for the glare on it, but... yeah.
It is what it is. At least people can make it out. So it is what it is. The last one comes from Lake Cambrian, and it says, "True story. The guy who was supposed to be watching Junior when he drove off is my college acting teacher.
No way.
Ed Satrakian. Hopefully I didn't butcher that. Rest in peace. I was shocked when I saw him on the show." Yeah, bro. I'd be shocked too. You're watching TV. You're like, "It's my acting teacher?"
The Leo meme. Whoa.
Yeah, literally.
Whoa. Here I come. Oh, here I come. Oh.
Yeah. Cue the Leo meme. That's fire. Yeah, it's crazy. Shout out to your acting teacher. Rest in peace.
Yeah. And with that being said, Charlie, episode 4?
All happy families.
The Garden State.
Carmela?
What?
Uh-oh.
What the?
Okay. Remember, no backup cams back then. It's AJ.
Oh, my God.
This guy.
Oh, my God. What is he going to do, bro?
Going on a joyride. He's just screwing around in the driveway.
Feels like bad news.
Only B.
Hey, I don't know what the happened to the DeWalt. Everything disappears around here. She's not I'm out of the house. She lets everything go.
DeWalt or Milwaukee? Fight in the comments.
Jesus, calm! Uncle Tony, knock it off!
Jason, don't put pine cones in a filter. The hell's the matter with you?
First time we see his
They will
kid.
probably go through their entire lives not knowing that their father's sperm was smuggled out of jail to get Nancy pregnant.
Oh, my God. Jesus Christ.
What a way to describe him.
What happened to the power drill? I loaned it to your cousin, Brian. And he never gave it...
What's the matter?
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
One of your attacks?
No, I think it's just indigestion.
Was he worried that that he's informing or something?
I had an attack. Full blown.
What did your therapist say?
I don't see her no more.
Why not?
You think you're the only one that has to cut back on shit they need? Because of the separation?
Mr. Wegler wants us to come in and discuss AJ's lousy academic performance.
Ooh.
I told this kid to start cracking the books.
Was he supposed to do that after he got back from the Nets game you took him to on a school night? I get to be the prison warden over here while you indulge him. The iPod, the drums.
Again with the drums. Why don't you just tell me when the school meeting is? Because I don't have to listen to this shit anymore. That's why we're separated.
What? Are you kidding me, Tony? That is not why.
Very
just changed the story there.
interesting that they're tolerating each other enough.
I'm Bill.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
What the hell?
Oh, yes. He's dead.
You were warned, Lorraine. The money goes up to John.
Oh, my God.
So they finally got to her.
Yeah.
Because the previous episode,
It was a warning.
yeah,
And then...
the bullet didn't go through the book.
It's goddamn Johnny Sack. It's his message to the other captains, that fucking animal.
Take it easy.
We go all out, we'll steamroll right over John. And I predict the guys in the street in Brooklyn, Queens, they'll welcome us as fucking heroes.
He's going to start war.
Declaration of war by Johnny, if you ask me.
Look at that.
Hey! There he is.
He just tapped, bro.
The rock?
Thank you, dear.
Anybody else?
If you need anything else, one of the kids will come out.
Tommy Peter's Gumare, when I was coming up, she had the long legs up to here like that. Famous beauty, smart as a whip.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
You drove Tommy Pinto?
I was at the clam broth house the night he beat that longshoreman to death over a corner table.
Here we go. Memory lane. Tell him about the time Tony and Jackie Aprile knocked over your card game.
Oh boy.
He should be dead by now. They busted in a couple of fucking punks. This one is fucking scared. First of all, it was my game.
Feach is forgiven, even if he hasn't forgotten. But it's a great yarn, right, Feach?
Yeah.
There's still bad blood there.
Actually, it brings me to my business. Fellas, you want to give us a minute here? I came to ask for my game back.
My uncle's game now, Feach.
Yeah, right, your uncle's. 11 years I ran it. No fights, no raids. Not to mention that maybe I got it coming, considering how it could have gone for you after you took the game down, if I had been a prick about it.
Or if his old man didn't have so many friends. I'll give you 20%, but you gotta rent the house from me. I could throw some high rollers your way. Friends of mine.
Let me get out of here before I keep talking and fuck this up. Gee, thank you, Don Antonio.
Surprised he's not freaking out at him.
And 20%, and if he throws high rollers in, could be a lot of money. She's looking at Botox stuff. Oh my gosh. You look fine.
She doesn't need it.
Can I go to the Morvain concert or not?
I've been trying to think of a reason to let you stay overnight in New York with your friends, but I'm afraid it's not going to happen.
Todd's mother already made the arrangements. And she said it'd be better than us driving home.
She's not your mother.
Yeah, I know. Believe me.
Oh.
He slimmed down again from a couple episodes ago.
Everybody's in. Aces side. Your action, Mr. Tell.
Shit's gonna hit the fan. It's gotta.
Yeah, when he said, "There's never been a problem."
Never a raid.
He's
Never
gonna
a
start
fight.
some problems.
Yeah.
This little pothead from Texas, she fucked me dry. But she still wanted more. So I'm wearing these pointy featherweights, and I stick the toe in, and I'm fucking her with it. The maid walks in, and she says, "What's going on?" And I say,
Hello, girls. Hey. Sir Lawrence from the Meadowland.
Your Highness, how are you? Tony, let me introduce Bernie Brillstein.
Did you get my list of toys?
No, I'm so dead.
So how's Lady Luck treating you, huh?
Jesus fucking Christ, how many times this guy got to say hello?
What, did I interrupt one of your impermeable stories? Go ahead.
So, we had these girls in the hotel room. Long story short, I got my shoe in a snatch.
And it falls off and she keels over. Que putz.
Oh my god.
So, Doc, how's the plans for the wedding?
Please, it's not a wedding planner anymore. It's an environment and event coordinator.
You notice the difference here? Feach was all just talking about himself. Tony comes in and just lets people talk about their stuff.
life. Yeah, that's a really good shout, Charlie.
If either of the Arizonas is what he's got his heart set on, he's not going to get in with these grades. And I know about football, Anthony. It's our ace in the hole.
He says he's trying his best.
SAT-wise, 505 and 430. I think we can edge up the math into the fives the next round.
That's really bad, right? 1600 is the high score.
Yeah.
I think at the time they were taking it, you couldn't answer all the questions because you would lose points.
Oh,
Even if-
really?
Yeah. Even if you got them wrong, you would lose points.
Do you think it would be a benefit to him to see a psychologist on a regular basis? You don't approve of therapy, Mr. Soprano.
People use it as a crutch.
I'm going to have to agree with my husband here, Mr. Wegler. We sent our daughter to an adolescent developmentalist, and it was a disaster. I know my son, he's just lazy. We're going to get him a different SAT tutor, and I'm going to stay on him, and he's going to work harder.
They said I might be learning disabled.
He's all happy about it.
What's that?
Was here when I got here.
I know who that's from.
Okay, if 1,000,000 zeros can be written on the front and back of a sheet of paper, how many sheets of paper do you need for a Google of zeros?
That's an SAT question? Bro, I can't even remember the SATs, so don't worry, Adrian.
That's a stupid question.
Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus.
Look, this is mine?
Yeah.
You are unbelievable.
This is so deck. What is this, Bose?
6 CD changing. It's got surround sound.
6 CD? Sheesh.
No wireless Apple CarPlay? What do you mean?
SUVs eat up more of the ozone.
Well, so you want to be the sucker in a regular car that gets decapitated.
I'm going to catch some shit at school for this.
So what do you want to do?
Are you joking? Seriously?
Screw it. Can we take it out?
Yeah, we can take it out. Once. Then this baby sits in the garage till you pull your grades up to a C.
Ah, I see what he's doing.
I was talking to him, not you.
I got to put dinner on. Tony, I have bills for you.
That was rude.
Tony should be calling him out there.
For saying that, yeah.
It's crazy that he's just letting it happen.
You better be nice to your mother. She's got the keys till your grades are up.
There we go.
Car is a motivational tool. The carrot and the stick, you gotta do both.
I could strangle him sometimes. He can be so hateful.
Well, the smart mouth is not good.
He was always a sweet one.
No matter was always sharper, but I remember the same thing with her. It's like watching an angel fall.
No.
What are you, crying?
She's not even mad about the car anymore. She's just upset with AJ.
Cheap sound system for the media room.
Yeah, why should I pay for that?
Because you took the last one.
Oh, your little movie connoisseur friends are still meeting?
At least I have friends.
The fuck's that supposed to mean?
You just have a bunch of flunkies.
What do you know about it?
They compliment you on your new shoes. They tell you that you're not going bald. You think they really care? You're the boss. They're scared of you. They have to kiss your ass, laugh at your stupid jokes.
Well, what about Artie then? You know, you're turning into a friggin' city.
Yeah, whatever.
What do I give a shit if they're scared or whatever? I'm running a fucking business, not a popularity contest.
She spelled it out for him. He already had some doubts, but she made it clear for him.
You don't wish us to be social friends, and so that is that. I still have great rigord for you. P.S. I'm doing fine, Anthony. It came with a bathrobe and a basket full of Dr. Hauschka bath products.
Ablution, the desire to cleanse himself of the deed.
Notice he still fundamentally blames me.
That's how Tony operates. It's never his fault.
Class A narcissist.
After our meeting the other day, I had some ideas about some further strategies for Anthony. I thought maybe we could meet, have lunch, a cup of coffee. I could share them with you.
This guy's asking her out, bro. The principal?
No, he's a college advisor.
Or a college advisor?
Guidance counselor, basically.
You know, I heard it the other day in the car. They have such a good drum solo in the middle there.
Drum solo? It's the basic 4/4.
What?
You know, Ringo was not their original drummer. That was Pete Best. And they fired him. He put out his own album, Best of the Beatles. Sad.
So, is this what they call common ground?
Oh, boy.
He's trying to have a civilized conversation.
Can I go to my room? I'm full.
Am I so horrible?
You are not horrible. Get over yourself.
Over myself? What is that supposed to mean? Let's go. Do me a big favor.
If you're gonna be a martyr, obviously I'll sit here.
Nope. Go. Put your plate in the sink.
I feel like martyr is kind of a big word for somebody who's getting not even C's.
Thing is probably to showcase that he's really just lazy.
Maybe.
And he's a really smart kid.
Or he has ADHD.
He knew the time signature for the song, but the reference to the solo in comparison to that made no sense, but he still knew.
Always got his eye on the big picture.
Up to you.
Oh, you see? He's like, I know you're kissing my ass. Now he's paying attention.
It's the facial expressions that we talked about last episode. Again, does it so well.
It'd be a great tax loophole, those SUVs. Told all my clients, write it off on your business.
That's why rich people would get the G-Wagon.
Then he shows the CPA where he's going to live. It's a fucking mansion, servants, broads.
Bro, they're over him.
We got hundreds of popes up here. This is the first Jewish accountant.
What do you get when you cross an accountant with a giant jet airplane? A boring 747.
See how they laugh so much harder? Yeah. It's like... Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
Paulie's laugh.
That wasn't that funny at all.
I'm laughing at them, laughing at him.
I have been doing some thinking. I've decided to let you stay in the city after the concert.
How come?
On one condition, though. No Hudson Suites. I talked to Med. She said that you can sleep over at her apartment. I will give you cab fare. When the concert's over, you go straight up there. Sunday morning, I want you home 10:30 sharp.
Oh, they're jacking cars? Ooh, from the valets.
Dang. That's wild.
Oh my God. From a Jewish wedding?
Wow. Hesh is somewhere shaking his head.
I've heard this song a few times. That was a fun time.
Can I have your attention? Apparently there's been an armed robbery.
They left all the American cars. Oh my God.
They left all the American cars.
That was a fucking SL-55 convertible.
Dudes with Escalades are all jumping for joy right now.
Yes.
Salma Hayek.
That's Salma Hayek.
Yeah.
Look, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it up there.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You know Mom's gonna call here. All right, you better stay there and be home on time tomorrow. I don't want any shit from Mom.
Oh, boy.
She and that mother's intuition.
Won't they have another roommate?
Is your brother there? He's not answering his cell.
I know, he's asleep. I probably shouldn't be telling you this, but he was pretty zapped.
I knew it. Is he all right?
Mom, he's fine.
Just wait until you have children.
Not me, I'm never having kids.
Oh.
She's such a good liar. That was like right off the cuff.
Nonchalant.
She's about to have kids right now, though, so she lied about that.
Oh, God.
Go, 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 go! Where's the patient?
Oh, jeez.
Draw all over his face.
Gonna have a phallic shape on his face as soon as he wakes up.
Somebody hit us. They stole all the fucking cars.
So who do you think it was? Did we see who it was? I don't think we did, right?
Wasn't Feach, you don't think, right?
That's the first person I thought about.
Oh
my God. That was worse than what I thought.
I'm going to have to do so much editing.
Oh,
this
it's
episode.
way past the time.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Love the way they're filming this scene, though.
AJ, it's your mother. Call me.
Oh, boy.
My mother.
Ma'am, I told you I can't put you through. Room 417 has a block on the line.
I am not waiting. Who knows what's going on? God help you if anything happens in there like those children in Westchester.
He has stuff drawn on him, too, bro. Oh, no. He's going to pick up the phone.
My face
Okay,
is
good.
stuck to the rug.
What?
What?
They super glue him?
Fucking crazy glued you.
Oh my God.
Ow, ow.
Oh, dude, that hurt.
Jesus.
Oh, dude.
Oh. They shaved his eyebrows, too.
Oh
my God. Who the hell did that to them?
Oh my, this is crazy.
Yeah, he's not getting that car.
AJ stayed in the city with his friends last night and he's not home yet, and I can't get in touch with him.
Take it easy. Slow down.
He could be dead by now. OD'd. God knows what else. God, why did I let him go?
He's all right. I'll take care of it. I'm on my way.
Anthony? God damn you.
Oh, he made it home.
What happened to your face?
Just leave me alone.
No, I want to know what happened. You never even went to Meadows after you gave me your word.
Get off my back.
You are a liar.
You.
What did you say?
Oh no.
This is not going to end well.
Ouch.
He looks crazy, by the way.
Yeah.
That's insane.
This Benz SL55, he wants a pull.
I'll make some calls.
I think they just strip those things for parts. If they try to steal it, like, it'd probably be found.
Oh,
Yikes.
He has to deal with the wrath of his father.
Oh, hey, Dad. I was just taking out the trash. It's garbage day tomorrow.
Who did this?
We were just screwing around.
What'd you say to your mother?
Tony.
What did you say?
I said the F word.
You're finished. You're never gonna drive that fucking car till you're 45 years old.
I was gonna go to Meadows, but there weren't any cabs.
Yeah, in New York? Okay, yeah, sure. No cabs.
Enough of your lying.
I am not lying.
Look at your face. If you got some kind of sexual proclivity with that teacher or whatever, now's the time to tell us. I mean, what went on up there? Poppers and weird sex.
What, bro? What?
I had a few beers, but it just made me sick.
How can anybody believe what you say?
Because I told you. You never believed me.
Bro, you were smoking something out of a soda bottle or whatever. Like,
You had a couple beers. You didn't do any drugs.
No.
Come on, look. A couple of beers.
He's so bad.
Should be grounded, yeah, but it's not the end of the world.
What? I am sick of your bullshit. Both of you. He can go live with you.
Don't get dramatic now, all right?
No, what? Great. Good.
Shut up.
Did you think I was joking?
Come on, this is normal teenage shit. You remember us? The CYO dance. We left Artie out in the snow. He almost lost his fingers. And we still laugh our asses off about it.
I don't really blame AJ. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to. He's testing the limits as much as he can. I blame myself. You don't know what it's like to have your son hate your guts.
He doesn't hate your guts.
Oh, thank God he's alive. It's my fault, Tony. My pathetic need to compete with you clouded my judgment. I went against all of my instincts.
His eyebrows will grow back. Nothing really happened.
He's so stupid. He's missing the point completely.
And you know why? To get him to love me as much as he loves you.
He loves you. It's just, you're his mother. It's different.
I can't be the villain anymore. I mean it. And I can't say fuck it. Take him. Let him live with you.
Ed Norton?
Honeymoon phase. Honeymoon phase.
Oh, yeah. House is a mess, too.
Yeah.
he said they left Artie out in the snow. Like, bro, Artie always gets screwed over. How is he still friends with Tony?
Yeah, so it probably was Feach.
You have anything to do with that wedding takedown in Ringwood?
Why? Is that a problem?
I told you that doctor was a friend of mine. I deliberately used that word. Who authorized you to do it? And don't call me Godfather with that fucking cute smirk.
When did that happen? You gotta ask permission to ply your trade? Here's your end. Be happy.
When were you going to tell me about it if I hadn't called you, Heath?
I'm here now. I'm telling you about it now.
That's the second time I'm playing catch-up with you.
What the f*** are you talking about?
The lawn cutting.
What, do I have to send you a memo every time I move my bowels, too?
Jeez.
Johnny Sack told me about this guy in Newburgh.
Johnny Sack?
Yeah, Johnny Sack. Anyway, he gave me a better deal for shipping him home.
Are you fucking serious? I said as long as you don't step on anybody's toes.
In my day.
And that's another thing. I don't want to hear no more about how it was in your day. You just keep your antidotes to local color, like Dynaflows or McGuire sisters or shit like that. Otherwise, shut the fuck up!
no.
And you're telling that to like an elder, which is crazy.
And an elder psycho.
Yeah, but he's an elder like legend of the mob or whatever.
Oh, I know.
Too. But he's the boss now.
Spectre Elder is one thing, and you gotta be careful what you say. There's some psychotic people.
Sorry if I offended you. I'll learn.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Boom.
I knew that we were gonna get that focus. I thought it was gonna be in that.
Yeah. So he did it out of retaliation.
We all right?
Get yourself 55 back, okay? Did I learn nothing from Richie Aprile?
I was gonna ask the same thing.
He's well liked, T. That's another thing.
Uh-oh. He's thinking about whacking him?
Yeah.
Oh, did he send Christopher to do it?
Oh, no.
Broad daylight.
What are you talking about?
He's saying it's in broad daylight.
What about it?
Think they're going to whack him.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Come on, sit down.
Oh, we gotta do this shit. You don't wanna know. It's all fucked up.
This is not good.
Now we got no place to park the truck that we got.
What's wrong with the street? You don't want me to know what's in the truck.
Flat screen TVs, 50-inch plasma Philipses. Guy's coming down from Montreal, but he got delayed a couple of days.
I got a garage right here.
My cousin's mother's got a place. We can lock it up there.
Park the load here. This way I'm around. Keep my glimpse on the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta kick in a TV.
Okay, maybe not. I got scared for a second.
Rutgers' summer program accepts boys without eyebrows.
I just know that if he didn't get into a good enough school to interest him, and he dropped out, went to work as a waiter or something, he wouldn't last a week. You know, he would be drawn right in, you know.
We talked about this a while ago.
Yeah.
AJ's behavior recently definitely adds up to, if he has no other options, he might get involved in the mob. I feel like that's the lifestyle that he would gravitate towards.
Yeah. I mean, like, idolizes his dad, so.
Supervisor Curran, parole board.
Uh-oh.
Site visit.
Oh, wow. They're so smart.
Just want to take a look around.
So smart.
They let him park the thing there.
Yep.
Oh.
They couldn't whack him because that was going to be too.
But did they drop it off already?
They probably did already, yeah. There you go. Plasma screen TV.
Bequest. Friend of mine passed away.
That your garage?
Nah. It's where I make the weapons of mass destruction.
Let's go out and open it up.
You want to see my fucking garage? You never seen an oil stain before?
He's going to whack this guy.
Can't whack your parole officer. It's way too fishy.
But to get away, he knows.
But someone's going to go looking for him after, right? But he's crazy enough to do it, so.
Oh, come on! Major League Baseball.
Same, bro. It's me watching the Red Sox every damn day.
Oh, somebody hotboxed us? I saw you close the window.
Are his friggin' eyebrows back?
It's starting to grow back.
That was way too quick.
Bed with a woman and you force her head under the covers.
That's awesome. Yeah, but first you gotta be in bed with one. Yeah, you'd be surprised.
Oh.
Yeah, I would.
Oh my God! What? Jesus!
Living with a bunch of dudes, this is what it'd be like.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Yeah, all right, that's enough. Go upstairs, do your Spanish homework.
15 minutes.
No.
He can't mess around like he did with his mom.
So good. This episode's really good.
And he's back in jail.
And back
Wow.
in the can. Dang.
Just got the call. They put him on a corrections bus this morning. This was the better move than taking him out. Man was a legend. Christopher agrees, by the way. Well, that's nice that he agrees.
Does he actually agree, though?
It was the better option, though. For sure. I mean, now he dies in jail, but.
Is AJ back home?
That's the first thing that came to mind.
Mommy, look at me!
Oh.
Oh, wow.
Anthony!
Wow.
That's the first time we've gotten it from a different perspective than Tony's. Like one of those flashbacks. Feels so empty. Cue in Furio. This would be the time that she needs Furio to show back up. But he would get himself killed, so probably not.
She could harbor him as a fugitive.
Yeah, I don't know. Tony's going to find out.
Probably. Although he was pretty oblivious the whole thing was happening, to be honest. And now with AJ out of the house, I think she's probably going to have some sort of lover at some point. Maybe it's the teacher or the guidance counselor.
Yeah, Features in the can, man. He's back. He's
back where he came from.
Back where he came from. Dang, that's foul. But yeah, the legend. And I want to go into Feach right now and what we saw in this episode, and specifically that moment where Tony goes back and he sees that scene again on everyone is laughing at him and looking at him like, oh, it's like popularity contest, but popularity contest, and Feach is looking at him in a straight face. Charlie, what stood out to you in that scene specifically that you saw about Tony's character and how they view him in the mob and Feach? Why was he so different in coming into this dynamic?
Well, I feel like Feach is, he's been locked up for so long and he kind of misses the life. And then you kind of see that he wanted like to get a taste back into it and feel I guess, important again and feel like part of something again. And so he's running the game and just telling old stories about himself and whatever and socializing. And, you know, people are having little laughs here and there to not be, I guess, totally rude because he is running the game.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I don't know. You could just tell the difference right away when Tony comes in and he sits down and starts playing with everyone. He like starts asking about them instead of talking about himself. And everybody in the table starts to become part of the conversation. It wasn't just Feach telling old stories. So obviously they clashed there and they had some beef with each other. But you can tell that, you know, like I feel bad for Feach because he's just looking to fit back in again after being locked up for so long. But Tony like actually wants to make sure that his clients are happy, right?
Mm-hmm.
To the point where also he was, you know, telling Feach like, this guy's a friend of ours, like he's a doctor, like don't screw it up. Like obviously he's a big spender in the game and whatnot. What does Feach do? Screws it right up. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think Feach was just not he's not someone who really looks into the grand scheme of things and into the business and like making others happy for the sake of the business, whereas Tony does. So
I think I saw like this whole episode was a result of the thing that Carmela said early in the show, right? She's like, at least I have friends. And she was saying, well, they all each like, it's because you give them money, or it's because they're scared of you, or they just laugh because you're paying them, blah, blah, blah. So all of that, I think the entire time you see in this episode is Tony like evaluating his surroundings and how people are responding to him, what he says, what he does. And I think that was the scene where they're all laughing at his joke. They laugh at Feach's joke, and then Tony tells a less funny joke, and they all laugh way harder. Was kind of his like immediate realization of the fact that Carmela's right. Yeah. Like in some instance, she's right. The fact that these people are, laughing because I'm the boss and I have to, regardless of whether or not he thinks like it's business, the realization that sets in that, these people might just be reacting because he is the boss of this family, whether his joke is funny or not. Like, I think that hurt him. And, he could see the one person in the room not laughing is Feach. And he's the one person who's kind of been challenging him this entire time. So throughout this episode, you see that dynamic with him and everybody. Paulie in the cards game was like, always thinking big picture. This guy's like, yeah, you're kissing his ass 100%. So guys doing that. Even AJ, I think the way that AJ reacts to him in some ways, like, Carmela said, they do things because they're afraid of you. And it was the exact reason I think that he realized at the end when he tells AJ, go do your Spanish homework upstairs. And then AJ like almost challenges him for a minute and sees how serious he is. And, it's the difference of like, I know what my dad does. Like, not that he would think that his dad would hurt him, but like his dad has more authority in that way than his mom.
Yeah.
And
I think business.
Yeah. And I think he was also scared of him in that moment and what he would potentially do. Yeah. And then as AJ gets up, again, the James Gandolfini masterclass of acting with your expressions, like he just kind of looks off into the distance as if he was thinking about that interaction. Like, did he only do it because he's scared of me? Did he, you know what I mean? And that's what I think this entire episode was about, is Tony having the realization of people react to me in a certain way because of the position that I'm in.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget too, like he literally grabbed AJ by the throat and pinned him up against the wall. Like, not too short before that. So
right.
He's definitely afraid.
Yeah, 100%. And I think AJ is also trying to understand what it is that gets him in trouble because, in that moment, like Charlie said, he pins him up against the wall and then he's like, I only had a couple beers, and then he lets go and he's like, wants to be lenient. And in that moment, he was about to defy him about doing his Spanish homework. And I think AJ's trying to like test the waters, kind of like what, what Carmelo was saying. He's trying to see what the limit is. But yeah, this is a really interesting, introspective Tony episode.
Yeah, you talked about the realization that he had in this episode. Do you think he knows how large his influence is, in his entire circle, right? In his family, in his work. Do you guys think that Tony knows that he has a major influence in everything that he puts his hand on, or do you think he's not aware of it?
I mean, I don't think he's like constantly aware of his own like influence. I think that in this moment he was more aware of just like how people react to him and the meaning behind that. Now I think people view him differently based on the relationships he has. Clearly, Carmela has an opinion of him. I think Meadow has an evolved opinion of him. And now I think what we're going to see now is like AJ's like fully formulated opinion of him. Like we've seen kind of him grow up with his dad and how their relationship like has changed or hasn't changed, or the lack of a relationship really we see from them. And I think now we're at the pivotal moment where we see how AJ reacts to his father. So I don't know if it's so much about influence or more that it's about Tony, you know, trying to understand how many of his relationships are real and how much of that comes from his position in the mob and fear and power, authority, that kind of thing.
I think also like we might see a shift now with AJ in how much he's actually does like his dad, because now he's forced to live with his dad and he's going to be around a lot more than before, even though, you know, the family was all together before. Him and AJ didn't have the closest relationship. Dad wasn't always home, but now that's really the only other person you're seeing besides also Tony B and Artie.
Yeah.
I think maybe the dynamic starts to change a little bit.
Yeah.
And there's something that we've always brought up, you know, in the early seasons about AJ potentially joining the mob, right? AJ potentially heading that direction. And it seems like, you know, they're, you know, laying out two paths, right? Either he goes to college or he joins the mob. They've been doing that for the past, you know, season so far. I'm wondering, with Charlie, what makes this moment so pivotal for AJ's character, moving with his father, and how can that shape up what's to come?
Well, you have the one thing that is good in this situation is that Tony's living with two guys who are not mob affiliated, right? But are still part of the mob family in a way.
Yeah.
Still connected. So at least there's not even more influence within the household for that kind of stuff. It's just Tony that would be influencing AJ. But I think it all comes down to whether or not Tony makes it and survives. Because, to be honest, because I feel like if by the end of this, Tony gets killed or something, that will heavily influence AJ's decision of like, okay, I'm not going to get involved.
Okay.
Unless he does get involved because it's like a revenge thing and whatever. But
I see the AJ situation very similar to the Jackie Aprile situation. I think we know where Tony's going to go with this. Like he is going to try. Like looking at it positively, honestly, I think that he being right next to Tony is almost better, for the sense that Tony's going to like do everything that he possibly can to be strict with him and like tell him, no, this is not the life that you should choose. Because if he did that for Jackie, imagine what he's going to do for his own son.
Right.
Like he would beat his ass if he even like knew that he was like wanting to in some way or another get involved. However, you know, we see, you know, AJ's has a lack of enthusiasm for academics. He doesn't seem to be interested in, you know, applying himself, although like he might have some sort of, you know, learning disability or ADHD or something, who knows. But I think that, you know, if it is him falling into it, it'll be maybe a lack of Tony's attention of why he would be coming into something like that.
The difference too with sorry to interrupt, but like Jackie at least had a fallback option because he was at a good school, Rutgers, like, and he was a smart kid.
Yeah, and he was deliberately undoing it.
Yeah.
Right, he was deliberately undoing it because he felt like the mob life was more pleasing to him than school. But AJ doesn't really have another option, right? If you think about it, like Carmela was saying to when she was on the date or whatever with the counselor, you know, he might, if he goes and doesn't go to school, becomes a waiter or something, he's not going to survive like last 2 weeks and
Right.
Yeah.
he's going to want to join the mob.
Yep.
So he doesn't really have a plan B.
Yeah.
Plan B would be the mob.
Yeah, and that's the part that, like, I almost wonder, like, Carmela, in my opinion, should say that straight up to Tony. Yeah. Like, if she is truly worried about that, because I think that there's one thing that causes a little bit of nightmares for Tony is either of his kids getting involved in that stuff.
And why do you think they don't bring it up? Is it because you think they're trying, because their kids are aware now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if she thinks that You mean why don't they bring it up to AJ?
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure AJ's aware of it. They're all aware of it.
Oh
now.
yeah.
So
I mean, I
being
think
like-
that they're trying to kind of hide it a little bit, and like not hide it in the sense that they don't think AJ will find out, but more like that's something we don't talk about, like a skeleton in the closet kind of deal.
Right.
That everybody kind of knows and everybody just kind of ignores. Although like we've seen Meadow react negatively to it, getting completely drunk out of her mind when she like at one of these like mob gatherings when like it all clicks in her brain. But because I think unfortunately AJ is less intelligent, he is probably more prone to fall into living the easy mob life like some of the idiots that we see in Tony's crew. But yeah, I don't know what is causing Carmela to not say it to Tony, because if I was her, that's the first thing that I would do is be like, you have to make sure he does not end up in this life. But knowing Tony, like he takes everything in spite. So maybe she thinks if I say that to him, then he's going to be more, predisposed to let AJ do this or not give a shit. So I don't know really what's going through their brains, but I'm sure that theme is going to, they foreshadowed it perfectly. Like that theme is going to come up again.
I can almost see AJ turning into another Christopher in a way.
Yeah, so my thing is, I actually, the more and more I think about it, I'm like, I don't think he's going to fall into the mob. I think he's going to fall into like drugs and become a burnout. Like that's what I see for him. Because I think he's like, he's kind of scared. Like he's not really brave. He's like, I think like even thinking about that life may scare him. But I do think that he, lacks, intelligence and common sense. And not to say that that's how people get addicted into drugs, but like if he flunks out of school and gets caught up with the wrong people, then I think that is potentially a road that he'll go down.
Right. We're seeing a new dynamic being introduced, and that is Tony actually becoming a father in a sense where every single time where he's with his kids, it's, he's either eating ice cream with AJ, they're going out for food, or doing something fun, right? He's always involved in that aspect, in the activity portion.
He's always a good guy.
Exactly. And I think now we're going to see him now go into this parental role where he's going to have to be doing the job that Carmelo was doing, and also his job, and balancing those two dynamics together. I'm just wondering, what do you guys are going to see from that? What do you guys think might come up in this aspect?
Oh, he's going to finally see what Carmelo's been dealing with this whole time. He's going to get frustrated, and I don't think he's going to know what to do.
Yeah, I agree. I think that he is going to have a realization that she had it way harder than he initially thought. And he's going to, finally realize, like you're saying, like how hard it is to actually be a parent that disciplines and sets expectations and holds their kids to their word and like hold their word to their kids. Like the way that he's living now, Tony could be gone at all hours of the night doing God knows what. If he does that with AJ, who knows what the hell he's going to get up to. I mean, right now, obviously he has already living with him and whatever. So maybe Artie could help look after AJ, but that's the thing that I think he's going to have a really hard time balancing is like work and being a single parent.
Yeah. But let's be real. Like even Artie is not the greatest role model for AJ.
No.
To be like living in.
But just making sure the kid's not, getting crazy glued to the carpet. Like, shit like
guess,
that.
And now looking at AJ specifically, I think, what he's going through is, it's tough. He's seeing two parents divorced, and the situation that he's in, like his father's in the mob. What stands out to you from him as a character in all of this, and what do you see in this aspect?
Yeah, I think that he is. I don't know. I don't think we or anybody is digging into enough what's going on with him and like the background. The counselor suggested a psychologist, and both Tony and Carmela are like, nope, no way. And unfortunately, I think that almost shows that it's probably the right move. That somebody should talk to him, and he's just kind of reacting based on the situation that's here. And in his, mind, his dad has always been, like you mentioned, the good guy in the situation. So of course he's going to blame his mom because she's always been the disciplinarian. So I think that he has got it all twisted. And at the end of the episode, we saw, his dad being strict with him and him kind of like taken aback by that. And I think we may end up, understanding more where he's coming from. We haven't gotten his actual words on what, the separation and everything means to him and how he's been dealing with it. But I think that's what this season is going to unpack for AJ.
Right. Charlie, that final shot of Carmela walking in, I just want to know what stood out to you in that aspect, what we've seen from Carmela's character in this episode and what that shot meant to you when you saw it.
For me, it was more the flashback when she saw like little AJ and then her younger self and how worried she was. I think like it's starting to click now. The absence of her kids in the house, the absence of a husband. She's in this big ass house by herself, and it's lonely.
Right.
In the moment, I think obviously in the heat of emotion, everything, she was like, "This is the right choice. Like, get him the hell out of this house. Go live with your dad." But maybe she might have a little bit of regret afterwards because she's going to be alone. But that's why I said, cue in Furio. Because
Just to fill out the void.
He has to fill the void. Someone has to, right? Someone has to.
Maybe.
Because, like, I don't know. Is Tony going to keep showing up at the house still? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is he going to bring AJ with him? I don't know. So she's by herself, and it's going to be a lonely life. And honestly, like, even with AJ there, I'm sure she was kind of feeling alone. But now it just hits harder because it's actually going to be like quiet and silent.
It's a massive house. It's completely empty.
And like you're not going to have your kid who's banging on the new drum set, or like playing loud music. All that stuff you were used to is now just gone. So adjusting to that is going to be very difficult for her.
Yeah.
What about you, Abe? What stood out to you in that aspect?
No, I think Charlie pretty much hit the nail on the head. Yeah.
And y'all, in the background, Johnny Cash is still doing his thing.
Johnny Cash, that musician.
Johnny Sack.
Oh, sorry, Johnny Sack. Sorry, not Johnny Cash. Sorry, sorry,
Out here
Johnny
singing
Cash. Yeah, Johnny Sack. Sorry, excuse me, y'all.
Johnny Cash doing some wild shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's a sneaky bastard, Johnny Sack, bro.
Johnny Sack
sneaky.
is he is sneaky and he's not, because he's like being very loud about this entire thing. Like at one point he was kind of conniving and weaseling, and then that didn't work for him, and he's straight up loud and proudly being like, I'm taking this shit over and there's nothing little Carmine can do about it.
Right.
Now I think we're gonna find out what that looks like, and I also think right now we see Tony's crew kind of keeping their nose out of it because of what Tony had said to Chris in the past. Like, there are things that we can benefit from based on the fallout of what happens here.
Right.
So they're probably just waiting for the puzzle pieces to, fall in the right place, or the fireworks to explode, and then they'll swoop in and take what they need, kind of like vultures.
Yeah, I love the direction that they're taking this narrative because, it's minimal screen time and it's all happening in the background, but that it's going to explode.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I love the way that they're developing it so far. What do you guys think about the writing process so far, specifically in that narrative and also what's been showcased in this episode?
They do a really good job of, like, exactly like you mentioned. They show like they're minimalist in the terms of, here's what's driving the narrative right now. Don't worry though, in the background there's this little aspect, in this case the Johnny Sack development and Little Carmine beef. This is going to develop over time, and it's going to affect our main narrative that you're seeing. Just keep an eye on it. And I think that's a really good way to storytell, especially in a world that has so many characters with such depth that cross over so much. This is the benefit of having 13 episodes with hour-long episodes in a season like this. They can take their time and be very deliberate in their storytelling. I think it's working.
Right. Yeah. And with that being said, y'all, thank you so much for watching and listening to this episode. We love you guys and see you soon for more Tony Tuesday. Stay beautiful, y'all.
See ya.
Bring back Furio.